And joining me live now is Admiral Arun Prakash, former Chief of the Naval Staff, someone who has played a very significant role in his time in building up India's shipbuilding capability. He's been a strong proponent for building modern ships here in India. Admiral Prakash, good to see you. Thank you very much for your time here on NDTV. Big day, sir, for the Indian Navy. I bet you wish you were in Vizag today, as those two beautiful built in India ships, Udaygiri and Himgiri, were commissioned together into service, which is also quite a special thing. Your thoughts on this big day, sir?
Well, it's a great day. We have two ships, both indigenously built in different shipyards. Once again proving the capability of our warship building industry. It's a proud day. It's going to add a big punch to the Eastern Fleet, which these ships are going to join shortly. That's my old fleet. So although I can't be there myself, but I can't help feeling pleased as punch because the Indian Navy is going to receive a big measure of hitting power or punch in the form of these two modern stealth frigates.
How big a deal is this? The Indian Navy needs ships. It needs them fast. Admiral Prakash, you know that very well. You've been in the hot seat. How big a deal is it to, get to commission two ships on the same day?
Yeah, it's quite unusual, and it's a most welcome, development, because unfortunately, although we've become very good at building ships, but our pace of work is not up to international standards. As you must have realized by now, the Chinese shipbuilding and warship building industry is much faster. They are building ships at a fantastic rate. They've added ships in 1 year, which many navies don't have in their possession. So I think we need to pick up pace of shipbuilding. But notwithstanding that, it is still a very proud day, because these are very capable modern stealth frigates with tremendous fighting capability, long range, long endurance, and they will add immensely to the fighting power of the Eastern Fleet.
You've been commanding officer of the INS Vindhyagiri, if I'm not mistaken, Admiral Prakash, a ship that belonged to the sort of predecessor class of these ships that have been commissioned today. Very different ships. But if one were to compare, out of public interest, how far have we come from those ships to these ships that we've seen entering service today, sir?
Okay, so indulge me a little.
Yes.
To give you a bit of history. This is called the Nilgiri class, because the first ship of this class was INS Nilgiri, whose designs we bought or borrowed from UK, and we built it in Mazagon Docks, Bombay, way back in the 60s. And there was huge amount of skepticism both in the UK and within India as to our capability of building a complete warship, which we hadn't done till now. But Nilgiri was the first step, and thereafter she was followed by 6 or 7 ships of the same class. And from ship to ship, we kept improving on the design. And the ship I commanded, Vindhyagiri, was a further development of the Nilgiri. It was longer, it was broader. Nilgiri could carry a small helicopter. Vindhyagiri could carry 2 Sea Kings, large twin-engine helicopters. So the class finished there, the Nilgiri class. Now this is a revival of the same class, but in a completely different avatar. Those were steam ships. They had a gun. They had a small first generation missile. These are ships driven by propulsion, which is called CODAG, combined diesel and gas. They've got gas turbine engines and they've got diesel engines, and they are equipped with anti-aircraft, anti-ship, ship-to-surface missiles, torpedoes, the works. They are possibly some of the most potent warships. I mean, they carry a battery of Barak missiles, and you've seen what the Barak can do in anger. And they've, the BrahMos.
Yes.
They've got a battery of BrahMos, which is a surface-to-surface missile. It's a deadly missile with a long range and pinpoint accuracy. And as I said, they've also got the Barak, which is an anti-aircraft missile, ship-to-air. So they are very potent, very powerful, long endurance. The Vindhyagiri could last at sea for about 4.5 days. These ships have immense endurance, I think weeks possibly. So very potent and very capable.
Admiral Prakash, you're right when you say that we have a way to go before catching up with the pace of the production of these ships compared to China and others. But I wanted you to comment on the the quality and the efficacy of these ships. Do these compare with some of the best in the world, sir, in your view?
Most certainly, I would say so. They can stand their own against any ship of this class, of this tonnage, 6 to 7,000 tons. I mean, ton for ton, they carry a huge punch. I don't think there are many ships. I mean, the BrahMos itself is unique. There are not many navies which carry a missile of that range and that capability. And then Barak, the combination is deadly.
In your view, sir, as a country that has built all these incredible ships. We've built an aircraft carrier as well, which is operational now. In your view, what are the next shipbuilding priorities as far as you are concerned? What are the things we should be focusing on?
Well, we already have on the design board, I think, a large ship, a large destroyer, which is almost a cruiser, I think 12 to 13,000 tons. That will be a huge achievement. But where we need to focus right now is submarine building program. The submarine strength has been dwindling steadily, and in spite of 6 Scorpions being added to our submarine fleet, our follow-on programs have slipped very badly. So we are in need of getting this Project 75 India going as soon as we can. Sooner the better.
Final question,
So
sir. Yeah, no, absolutely. I wanted to follow up on that submarine question itself because, we are in many ways a country that has its own, nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarines, which are, I'm guessing, far more complicated in many ways than building, conventionally powered attack submarines. But now we're going in that other direction. We're going to build nuclear-powered attack submarines as well. How much of a challenge is this going to be, given what experience we've had in building submarines so far, sir?
Well, as far as submarine construction is concerned, we've already built SSBNs, the ballistic missile submarines. So the shipbuilding aspect is taken care of. So an SSN is a similar hull, similar propulsion, but differently armed. The SSN, the attack submarine, will carry anti-ship missiles, torpedoes, land attack weapons, and so on. So as far as shipbuilding is concerned, I think we have that issue is behind us. So it shouldn't be a problem. But building nuclear submarines is a huge challenge. They are expensive to maintain, to build, and there are huge security issues. It's time-consuming, nuclear fuel, etc. It's a very complex issue. But capability-wise, we are already there.
Circling back to my final question on the 2 ships that that entered service today, beautiful ships, and I was lucky enough to be able to spend some time on board them last week as well, Admiral, where we Vishnu Shom and I have done a full show with the commanding officers of these 2 great ships, and we also heard that these ships were built in a modular fashion, almost in slices rather than the entire hull being fabricated as one, but in pieces. That's quite an interesting thing, isn't it? That is promising in terms of maybe being able to build ships a little faster and more efficiently.
Yes, certainly. Modular construction has its tremendous advantages because you can farm out the modules to various other shipyards and then assemble them. It's a matter of interest. The British built their aircraft carrier in 3 or 4 different locations, and then they carried the sections to one Devonport and assembled the aircraft carrier there. So, getting hold of the modular techniques is a good achievement, and it'll add to our speed of construction, I'm sure.
Very, very proud day for the Indian Navy, and I know even though you're not in Vizag, hopefully you will be able to visit these lovely ships soon and spend some time on board them. I know they'll be very proud to host you. Admiral Arun Prakash, always a pleasure, sir. Thank you so much for being with me.
Thank you. Thank you.